It is now in order to consider Amendment Number 9, printed in House Report 106-562. For what purpose does the gentleman from Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 9, printed in House Report number 106-562, offered by Mr. Paul of Texas.
Pursuant to House Resolution 460, the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Thank you. I would first like to thank my colleague from Michigan, Mrs. Kilpatrick, for co-sponsoring this amendment. This amendment is simple and straightforward. The amendment merely states that it prohibits the use of funds for activities involving the acquisition of church property unless the consent of the governing body of the church is obtained. This means that community development block grant money cannot be used to invoke eminent domain and take a church away from the church owners or the occupants without their permission. It has been done in the past, and it is planned to do in the future. So I think this is a very important amendment to make sure these funds are not used in this way. I think the point is that private property is very important, that owners do have rights, and quite frequently when this is invoked, it occurs in the poorer areas where there's less legal protection and legal help. So I'm very pleased to introduce this amendment, and I am very pleased to have Mrs. Kilpatrick as the co-sponsor. And I would be glad to yield to the co-author.
Thank you, Congressman. Mr. Speaker, I stand as a co-sponsor of this amendment, and it is a good amendment. We've had several calls in our office today wondering what it is, and we took the opportunity to explain it to them. Let me first thank Chairman Leach, Mr. Lazio, as well as our ranking member, Mr. LaFosse, for the fine work that they've done, and the entire Banking Committee. I was a former member of that committee, and I know the hard work that they do. No church in America should be denied the opportunity to participate in a developing community. The amendment that Mr. Paul and I are offering today is to say that no community development block grant funds can be used to take any church unless that church is involved and does agree in that selection. So with that, Mr. Speaker, this is a good amendment. I commend Mr. Paul for bringing it to my attention. We have spoken to the minister and other people who are concerned about this issue, and I would move, Mr. Chairman, that we adopt the amendment.
I appreciate the gentlelady's support, and I yield to the chairman.
I want to thank the gentleman from Texas for bringing this amendment to the House floor to address an important concern, and I want to also thank the gentlelady from Michigan as well. And I rise in support of the amendment. I want to thank the gentleman for his hard work in getting this to the floor. And for his numerous discussions with my staff and with myself to ensure that the various concerns that have been raised have been addressed. And so I want to thank the gentleman. I'm in strong support of it, and I urge passage.
I thank the chairman for the support.
Gentleman yield.
I yield to the gentleman from Massachusetts.
I would just join in making it clear that we on the minority side have no objection to the render unto Caesar amendment.
I thank you, gentlemen. I yield back the balance of my time.
Anyone seek time in opposition? If not, the question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Texas. As many as are in favor will indicate by saying aye. Those opposed will say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to.